They've known it's been there because French astronomer with the calculations found out that Uranus and Neptune had a little dimple in their orbits. So they surmised that there's some other planet out there. So they've been looking for this planet since the early '80s. So you have the different articles here from New York Times, Newsweek. They launched the. Let me find the one I want to get here. Does the sun have a dark companion? This odd behavior suggests that the sun has an unseen companion, a dark star gravitationally bound to it but billions of miles away, or a 10th planet 47 billion miles away. So, if you come down here, they found it. They launched the IRIS. The IRIS is an infrared telescope. Okay, its mission lasted 10 months. I don't know if it was a coincidence, but it stopped on November 22nd, which we all know what that day is.
What is it?
That's the day that Kennedy was assassinated. Not that particular day, but November 22nd. The observatory also made headlines briefly with the discovery of an unknown object that was first described as possibly as large as the giant planet Jupiter and is possibly so close to Earth it would be part of our own solar system. So, they made this discovery, and then they announced it. Orbiting Eye reveals mystery space monster. This was in the Washington Post. Heavenly body is possibly as large as Jupiter. Now keep in mind, it says, have been found in the direction of the constellation Orion. Okay? Remember Orion, because it's going to come into play in a little bit. As close to Earth as 50 billion miles. So they announced what they found. And then in what is this, the 1987 New Science and Invention Encyclopedia, they actually showed you that they were sending the Pioneer spacecraft out to look at the dead star and the 10th planet. This was right in the encyclopedia. This is a scan right out of it. So they made all these big announcements. And then all of a sudden, they just shut up about it. All of a sudden, it just stopped. So in the 80s, 1980, how many of you are familiar with the Georgia Guidestones? Pretty much everybody? Yeah, okay. What we're going to concentrate on here is one thing, that word right there, maintain. You all know that the elites are so hubris, if they wanted to reduce population, they would just say, reduce population. Okay, maintain is a word that means after the fact. It's something that happens after an event. They want to maintain humanity after a certain event. These are how big the Georgia Guidestones are. They're written in 10 different languages.
Who built those?
Unknown.
Oh. What country are they in?
The United States.
Georgia.
They're in Georgia.
Oh, yeah.
And basically the story behind this, right here is the whole story. Wired magazine did an in-depth article about it. They sent some reporters down there. The guy that went in to pay for this, he paid $1.6 million and had this thing built, and he wanted it to withstand big waves and earthquakes and high winds and all that stuff. Okay, so and he also instructed it, he wanted it to be a timepiece. The astronomic features basically so that if there was any kind of shift of the world of our poles or anything, that they could recalibrate how many days are in a year, how much time is in a day. So in the Guidestone you have this, alright, you have this hole through the side which actually puts a dot on the floor at exactly noon every day. So it allows them to be able to recalibrate. Now you also notice the date on here, March 22nd, okay? That day comes into play with the Skull and Bones once again. That's their official number there, 322. Here you have our friend Mr. Prescott Bush, that was one of the Skull members there. Yeah. So, and then you have good old Georgie with his Freemason buddies. So here's the article on that. You can read up about all this. I highlighted all the important stuff in red. All right, move on to the next thing. So, 1982.